Hello students, today we'll study another chapter from your class 12 syllabus. The chapter name is Deep Water, written by William Douglas. It is from your book Flamingo. In this particular video, we will study the introduction, the main theme of the chapter, the detailed explanation and character sketch of the main protagonist of the story, that is William Douglas. Now, in this story, William Douglas talks about his fear of water and how he finally overcomes it with strong willpower, courage, hard work, and firm determination. Once he decided to face fear with courage, fear vanished. This proves that most of our fears are baseless. The writer's experiences further confirm the proverbial truth: where there is a will, there is a way. The story conveys the message that it is not death, but the fear of death that instills terror in our minds. It also teaches us that clinging to past fears can spoil one's present. Hence, intensive and persistent efforts are needed to shake off the fears of past. Now, through this particular chapter, you'll come to know about the real life experience of William Douglas. Now, it is very important for you to know that this actually happened in his life. And once he conquered his fear of water, he went on to become the highest long-serving judge in US. In India, what happens, judges tend to retire at the age of 65. But in US, what happens, they tend to work as long as they want to. So he worked over 80, even when he had turned almost 80 years of age. So you'll come to know more in detail about him once you go through this chapter. Now, in this particular chapter, William Douglas talks about his childhood venture. At the age of 10 or 11, Douglas plans to learn swimming at the YMCA pool. YMCA pool was chosen because it was safe. The pool was only 9 feet deep and 2 feet deep at the shallow ends. His mother continuously reminded him of Yakima River, which had claimed many lives, so she wanted personally that he should learn swimming. Now he got himself equipped to learn the sport. He gets a pair of water wings, conscious of exposing his skinny legs, but surely later on he curbs his complex and overcomes pride. Actually, what happened, he had a fear of water because whenever he used to see water, he used to remember his childhood incident. At the age of 3 or 4, he was knocked down and buried by a wave at a beach in California when his father had taken him for surfing. So he developed a great aversion to water after that particular incident. Years later, YMCA pool revived those unpleasant memories. Childish fear of water stirred once again, but slowly he conquered his fear of water and became comfortable with water. Now, this thing happened one particular day when he had gone to the YMCA pool. It was just a week since he had joined. So one day he was all alone at the pool. Water in the pool was still. That means there was no air around. He had no courage to plunge in the pool. So while sitting alone and waiting for others to come at YMCA pool, an 18-year-old Burly, that is a muscular boy, came and threw Douglas into deep end of the pool. He had a hairy chest, bulging muscles, and impressive physique. Douglas fell in water in sitting position. Douglas swallowed water and went straight down to the bottom of the pool. He was frightened but alert. While going down, he planned to make a big jump upwards, lie flat on the back, and paddle towards safety. So, what was his condition in water? This you'll come to know that 9 feet deep appeared like 90 feet. He was continuously going down. He had made a plan, just like a cock goes inside the water and comes up to the surface quickly. So he thought he is also going to jump once he reaches the water and come up quickly. But he was continuously going down and down. It seemed as he was going to the 90 feet pool. He felt acute uneasiness. His lungs were ready to burst. He hits the bottom, summons up his strength, strains to heave up. Contrary to expectation of springing to the surface, he starts coming up slowly. He tries to clutch a rope. Only water runs through his fingers. He could not find any rope nearby. He feels suffocated. Finally, eyes and nose came out of water, but mouth was still inside. He could see the yellow tinge of water all around. His legs were stiff, his muscles were aching, and he again went on going down all over again. So this is the second time he went on going down. He was stuck to the bottom again, desperate, screaming, lost in water. Terror held him deeper and deeper. He felt dizzy with aching lungs and throbbing head. He had acute physical discomfort. His mind still retained the plan to avoid drowning. That the moment he reached the bottom, he is going to spring up to the top. He was terrified and out of his wits. There was water all around. He was going down endlessly. He was seized by the terror. He was unable to scream. He was totally incapacitated. The thumping heart and pounding head were the only signs of life. Now he made a second attempt. His mind was totally clouded with fear. He doesn't give up. He takes the leap with all the strength, but success evades him. He comes out of water momentarily and again, third time, starts going down into the water. During that third trial, he sucked water instead of air. Now he decided that now I'm going to die, so there is no point in getting panic stricken, and there is no point in fearing, and there was no anxiety. So he ceased all efforts and became unconscious. There was total relaxation. He accepted death and he passed into oblivion. When he regained his consciousness, he found himself vomiting beside the pool. The big bully makes a lame excuse, but I was only fooling around. People were scolding him that this boy would have died, but he was simply making an excuse. I was only just joking. Now, what were the after effects of that experience? Hours later, weak and trembling, he reaches home. His knees were shaking. He cannot eat anything that night. Fear haunted him for days together. Once he was at his bed, he cried loudly. He got upset with slightest exertion. He feels wobbly in the knees and sick to his stomach. He develops phobia of water. He never revisits the pool. He avoids all water bodies. The grip of fear of water deprived him of the joys of canoeing, boating, swimming, and fishing. All his friends used to enjoy, and he was the only one. The moment he reached water, his legs used to start getting wobbly. Every way to overcome his fear failed. Finally, he was determined to defeat his fear. He engaged when he was a little older. After a few years, he decided to engage an instructor in October to teach swimming. The instructor attached a rope to a belt and put it around him. The rope went to the pulley that ran on an overhead cable. The other end was in the instructor's hands. Supported by the cable, went to and fro in the pool. We practiced for weeks together, 5 days a week, an hour each day. Persistent fear started fading after 3 months of combined efforts of self and instructor. The instructor taught him swimming piece by piece. He learned exhaling and inhaling while swimming. As the instructor used to do it, ask him to, the moment he used to come out of the water, he asked him to take some breath and exhale inside. Take some breath, inhale it, and exhale inside. He used to practice this for hundreds of times every day. He made him kick with his legs for weeks. Initially, his legs were stiff, but gradually they relaxed and he could command them. Finally, he was given a clean sheet by the instructor in April. The instructor asked him to dive and swim the length of the pool, and Douglas could do so. The instructor's work was over. But Douglas practiced while he was alone in the pool. He still did not have so much of confidence, so he continued to practice to shed off all his. Once he was confident enough, he tried to test whether he actually knows swimming or not. He went to Lake Wentworth and swam it back and forth. He successfully tried the crawl stroke, breaststroke, side stroke, backstroke. Next morning, he went to Warm Lake, which was near the Mead Glacier. He tried and swam across the lake. Tiny vestiges of fear still gripped him, challenged the fear and swam. Fear of water was conquered. He remembered Doug Coppin, who was a very good swimmer, that how he used to swim. So he also tried to swim just like him. He realized that in death there is peace and there is terror only in fear of death. Near-death experiences and the fear of death intensifies Douglas' will to live. That's it for the story. Coming to the character sketch of William Douglas. William Orville Douglas. This is his real picture. I told you he was the longest serving judge of the United States. He was a very high-spirited young man. Even though he feared water, he made it his sole purpose to learn the art of swimming and was determined to get over his fear at any cost. Douglas very honestly confesses his fear, which shows that he has quite forthright in his approach. His admission of his terrorized state after being rescued from the pool reflects his honesty. He was a very hard-working man. Once he decided to overcome his fear, he worked day and night to achieve his aim. Douglas was a strategic thinker and planner. Even when he was pushed in the water unexpectedly, he very clearly planned his strategy as to how he would save his life. When life tossed many challenges and trials at him, he stood firm, and in the end, his strong willpower and perseverance eventually helped him conquer his fear. For children, you also try to shed all your fears and face the world with confidence and conviction. I hope you understood the chapter. If you like this video, do like, share, or subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Happy learning.